It's 2026. Obviously, you then do a video about the release that you have named 2025, about all the work that you did last year. And then it takes a month for you to even sit down and stop to make the video. All right, so what I'll be showing real quick, HAXcms Node.js version. We are on 25. If you notice there, we jumped from 11 to 25. It's incredibly feature packed, so let's go. So firing up the latest copy of HAXcms. This is the same with the PHP version, or if you've got it in the Create CLI tools, or you're using it on HAXium if you're at Penn State. So major overhaul on the dashboard. We're still working on some additional improvements here, but the biggest feature enhancement in this release is when we go to create a new site, we've got these things. So these are what we call under the hood skeletons. So in addition to reducing the complexity of the dashboard, putting you right in the moment of the thing that you're going to make that much quicker, we are trying to reduce site creation down to 2 clicks. So if I want a resume, I'm going to make a resume. It's pre-populated. The name of this resume, I'll just call it Brian's Resume, enter. All right, so we'll go to our new site that we've created. And the thing with skeletons, which is a concept under the hood that our users will not be aware of, which is the whole point of the system, is this didn't just make a theme selection with a new site. It made content as well. So right now, this is just very boilerplate. It's made 5 pages in this case. But, right, even prompting the user to create a type of website. We are getting away from the notion of selecting your theme and it's completely blank and I don't know what to do with this. So tools and editing bar have changed a little bit. We've taken some UX feedback to heart, so it's a lot easier to see previews of these things, dramatically improved dark mode support. There's also very clean in-page operations to match above the fold. All right, these buttons are all the same, but if I select something and I have it in context, we get additional options that are shown so that we're focusing the user more on just the tools and tasks they can do in that moment. Still have lots of blocks. They all work the same way that we have before, where we can throw in videos and select our video, make our changes. We've got some additional options as far as media addition here. You can see there's also recording the screen. I don't think you should really do that for more than 5 or 6 seconds because it's a pretty large MP4. But we've also improved like our source view. We've reduced the complexity of source view. Structure is cleaned up. Our blocks. Everything routes through our Merlin command system here. So you can see it's saying there's 84 results. And if I needed to like upload a file or something, right, I can find all of the options by typing the thing that I want to do, right? Even if that's save. Right, so I could save the page. We also then have in-context operations, right, with these page actions now. So if I select page actions, we can see that we have edit the page, which is just a nice shortcut way of putting it into that mode. And then we have ability to cancel there. Let's make another site real quick. Let's make a online course. All right, that was 2 clicks. We have an online course. This has a syllabus that's been created as a placeholder, a lesson 1 with some examples. Hey, here's what you should put here. But we also, in sites that have an outline, we then get outline operations or actions. And so these actions allow me to do all the things that I could do in the outline designer, but really quickly, or I could just jump to the outline designer. So if you haven't used the outline designer, or what we call it, it's the site outlining tool, right? It also has been improved. So now we can perform actions here. We could duplicate this entire lesson of content, make that named lesson 2, tab through here. All right. make our changes, move pages around. There's a much easier to see drag and drop system as far as it's going to place it underneath that content as opposed to next to that content. I can then save and it'll say, hey, we're going to make all these pages. We're going to update this one. And I get these bulk operations in that case with all the content that was from that page. Now, what we want to do, for sure. So what we want to do, there we go. Didn't like that I made so many pages there, I guess. Is with our conclusion here, I can go and I can delete this real quickly. We've taken delete off of the top of the interface. I could also lock this page, which then all of the operations get grayed out except for things surrounding it. So I could unlock that from here. The lock was up there that I have to break. All lock does is keep you from just accidentally making a change. So I could also do very small operations. So I could indent this page, which sends it into that container. I can outdent. We can move it up and we can move it down one. This has been extremely helpful in our initial testing as far as moving around. Once we get full built sites, some of our sites that are run by this are 400 or 500 pages. You don't want to pull up the entire outline, and have 500 pages loaded. It can handle it, but like the user can't really go like, oh, where am I going to move that? Right. So we also have the ability to move something, and this allows me to take this and say, where do you want to put it? All right. And so I can say in the end, and now it's underneath in the end. Now we have lesson 1 down there, or I could take it and move it back to the root level, which pulls it back up out of that structure. What else do we have? We have the ability to add a page with one button. And now we drop into Merlin saying, create a new page, which is the original behavior. I just hit enter. We get a page, and then we're placed in editing mode. So little operations like that. We're not just making a new page. We're making a new page, and we're putting you in the context of being able to just start typing and have that content be made. There's also, if you hover over these, you can see there's keyboard shortcuts. So I could do like Control E. Whoops, I hit Control R by mistake. Control Shift E. So I could do Control Shift E or Control Shift S to save that material. Right? I could do Control Shift 1 for the first operation. So with Control Shift 1, I could enter the title, and it's going to say, hey, we're going to do these things. Either I could duplicate the current page, or I can make just a blank new page. So let's duplicate. Right, and in this case, it has made it set with the title, set the slug to match, and duplicated the content, and put me in editing mode, all simultaneously. Right, so trying to reduce clicks, get you on task as rapidly as possible to the end goal, which is building a ultra portable website that I could download, do whatever I want very easily. These are all files that are portable because HAX's goal is to be ubiquitous. What else? In these tabs, there's some additional individual options, like I could modify the page icon. Right, if for some reason I wanted this to have a save disk as the icon, then I could do that. Lots of bug fixes in this release, but really an emphasis around speed, creating things very quickly, finding them quickly, being able to take that online course or my resume, having those things more thought of as what is the use case, what type of site are we trying to create today, so that we can put the user enough into that context with the content, with the tools, so that they have an idea of basically going and filling in the blanks. So all along with this, is it in there? No. You can now find all of the export and import formats in Merlin by just typing export or import. If we do export site, for example, we get all these different ways that we can get this site in and out in this case. But the big one that we're still working on the UX of is skeleton. So what a skeleton ends up being is the site structure plus the content. So this isn't actually the entire website the way that Hax has its site as a folder that you can zip and give to someone. This is a single JSON file that is in a very similar format that then the back end can use as part of building new sites that function just like that one. So we're working on ways of modifying these settings. We're working on ways currently of removing functionality because we're trying to get into the idea that HAXcms is for creating authoring experiences for people. So you could actually take a site, you use the design, you tweak the settings, you add content, your structure, and then by hitting a button, you're able to give that as the default experience for another person. Think templated documents in like Google Docs, for example, except it's a whole website. So stay tuned for more on HAX 25 and the next, the coming fixes. If you're looking for how to get involved, it's Hacks the Web on GitHub. We've got some exciting collaborations that we're going to announce hopefully in the next month. I have 5 students currently that are doing internships working on the platform. So if you are interested in joining the community, now's a great time to get involved. The Web Components mono repo has all of our assets for working on what this user experience is, and the Node.js and PHP versions of the platform are for you to actually download and deploy somewhere. So we will keep on haxing and have a great day.